anyone just tuning in, feel free to go there to vote for the next character that I'll play after this, because this guy here will probably get ascended pretty fast. He's only got 1 rune left. Just the Iron Rune left to go. Don't have too much to prepare. I could waste some more time in a Zig if I wanted to, but, you know, I don't really have no reason to go in. We've pretty much visited every, filled out every branch. There's the only place left is Dis. And we finished, is that even annotated? Guess you can see it if you look in the dump. Yeah, this is a feature that lets you look at the dump in-game. I think Amaloy added this recently. So yeah, completed 1 ziggurat, scene 27. We got ossuary. I can't remember which ossuary I got. That was way back at the beginning. I think it was one that I don't really remember much of. The volcano, I want to say it was the one with the... I think it was the one with, like the temple at the center of the lava lake, and it's like got molten gargoyles usually, some other stuff, and I think a Mochlib altar. And for the Wiz Lab, it was Cloud Mage, and that's where I got the Robe of Clouds, which I actually ended up using a bunch, even in Extended, because I didn't really have Aralek, but then I found this ring that I've been using, which is Aralek and MP, which is cool. The ice is no longer an anti-enhancer, so that was fixed. It says it's an anti-fire. Let's see, where is that? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's already removed. That's right, yeah, because CGR updates every hour, so it used to say it enhances ice magic and de-enhances fire magic, but that was not true when it said that, but that got fixed just a couple of hours ago, I guess. So the only thing it's doing is taking off some of my RF, which I could use maybe some more RF in Dis. There are a few fire things, but it pretty much is mostly Balrogs. The other things are using Damnation, so I don't really care. And we're possibly going to max out spellcasting and earth magic. Before the end. But our title was... oh yeah, we got the fire title because we maxed that out first. Alright, so spells. I got Borgs, I've got 2 levels left, but don't really have anything else that I need to learn. Don't foresee having too much, although this is now kind of the hardest branch. It has Iron Giants. Everything is very susceptible to shatter. Of course, I've got Sea Blank and now Borgs. Is there anything? Got 6 free slots, that's good. And we've got a bunch of magic map now. We've even got a bunch of cure mute, not that we need it. Tried to do some mutation roulette, maybe like for instance get clarity. At this point, the only benefit of clarity is just to avoid confusion. I think that can be a hell effect, but which could be a bad one if I'm in Necromute. That could be potentially a problem, but might mostly stay out of Necromute until, well, I'm not sure what all the hell effects actually are. I don't know how many of them are negative energy. If you were in Tartarus, it probably makes sense to pretty much keep it always up because I'm sure there's negative energy hell effects. I don't think Dispel is a is a Tartarus, is any kind of miscast effect, at least to my knowledge. Cannot wield Holy Wrath. I really did not get much use out of that. I just sort of kept it around just because in statue form it's a good, or even outside of statue form, it's good against demons. Still worth having, but I'll put that on C actually. So I've got 6 magic map and I have no other reason to use them. So I can map 6 out of 7 dislow. Sad I didn't pick up one more. I could map every one. Since I have to escape to here so much, potentially I'm going to map the first level. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, a door vault. Wow, this is a tiny level. Oh yeah, so this is metal. It's harder to break. But it did break. Alright. No more Wiglaf. Huh. Interesting. I'll map this one too. This is kind of interesting. Okay, so this is just a vault. But the downstairs are really close by. That's great. Does this fly? It does not. Go ahead and... Actually, I realized this would be a good time to carry around that Staff of Earth. So I can enhance... Oops. I'll be using more shatter here. So why don't we go pick that up? Do I want to just keep that equipped? Try that. Let's see for conj. And we'll put the Holy Wrath on a D. Knew he was gonna corrode me like that. These guys fly. They don't. Good. Good dive so far. So I'm fighting here more than you might normally. I mean, you don't have to be... You can fight less, you can fight more, you can be hasted and run through a lot of stuff. Depends on sort of how you're feeling about the character's survivability, you know, what is... The cost of me stopping and fighting monsters is not really anything appreciable. The thing is, you can always escape hell and come back in. It's relatively easy to escape, so... That's the kind of the funny thing about it. Although the hell effects push you down really fast, if you choose to play it pretty conservatively, it can be kind of low-key, because at any point you can just leave. Where the stress kind of comes in is when you fight, when you get into some situation where you're far away from the exit, you have to teleport, and you're facing something that's got a lot of torment, a lot of hellfire, a lot of, or just a lot of damage. I'll go ahead and channel to get back some. So at this point I can map every level. If you've got a big surplus of magic map, Hells can be a good place to use them, because if I had wandered in a different direction, it's kind of good to sort of like wander a bit in some direction and maybe try another direction. It will introduce some more backtracking, but backtracking areas are probably cleared unless you were just running from everything, in which case backtracking is maybe a bad idea. So it's relatively little cost, just some more turns, maybe a few more hell effects, but you're more likely to find the stairs if you just go, instead of just going constantly in one direction. Probably the optimal movement is going to depend on the layout, I guess. It's really, to be fair, it's more about just exposing the biggest number of squares as early as possible. But in a layout like this, where you can be forced in one direction and not some directions and not allowed to go in a lot of other ones, it might be nice to backtrack. In something that's relatively open, you can pretty much do whatever, as long as you're opening up. As long as you're exploring more squares as quickly as possible. Well, that was a really fast dive. The magic map certainly helped. And here we go. Okay, this is one of the kind of the varied dis-ends. It's got a sort of a small city section, and then it's got this central area where there's maybe some dangerous monsters, and then it's got Dis's castle, and Dis is right here in this little chamber. This is a pretty good level to just teleport so that you don't have to fight so much, and that's probably what I'm gonna do. Hello? Nice. Okay, there's an Iron Giant. Yeah, so teleporting in this does have the potential to land you next to some scary stuff like this. Thankfully, anything here that I care about can be shattered, so probably what I'm going to do is... do I want to haste now or later? I'll go ahead and haste now. Shatter. Cool. That's the Iron Giant. Okay. His Iron Shot is something I want to stay away from, so I want to be out of range of that. It is... it's only got a range of 4, but that means, you know, he can hit me right now, so I want to be out of range of that. It just does too much damage. There's also a Brimstone Fiend, that's not great. Don't need to go too far though. What does this guy have? Oh, he's almost dead anyhow. So I'm gonna go up here, turn on some channel. This Brimstone might not even try to Hellfire me since the Reaper is here. Although he's not there for long. Okay. There we go. Everybody died. Hell Sentinel is also vulnerable to shatter. And there he goes. How's our spell power for shatter? Pretty good. Yeah, if you are in chat, vote for the next character. There's not... I guess I started a stream when there's nobody alive right now. So... votes are appreciated because I don't think they're going to come... We're not going to get too many votes. These guys fly, don't they? Yeah. They die pretty easily to shatter though, I noticed. Yeah, they do. I guess they just don't have a lot of HP. Oh, that's right. They're vulnerable. That's why. Yeah, I forgot. It's going to keep using channel. Oh, there's another Iron Giant. Oops. We're waking everybody up. Shatter is less good now. What I'd like to do is get in a good firestorm. And I need to get back some MP on top of it, so I'll go ahead and blink and just... Do I still have haste spots? I do. Oh, I've got one. Fortunately, I'd have to recast Lich, and I don't need to be losing MP right now, so I'll probably just use good. Staff of Conch. We're gonna firestorm some stuff. Don't know if there's anything else left. There's a bunch of stuff. Yeah, those Rust Devils are kind of a pain. Hey Jink, how's it going? There's a URL for you to vote. This guy who decided that he's too good to die the first time I cast LCS at him. Iron Giant. Looks like we may be coming back to Shatter here. So yeah, I could have just continued teleporting. I'm sort of just fighting these monsters more or less just for what the hell of it. If you were going to teleport, you'd probably want to land in maybe a little bit less, well, teleporting in, and you have the ability to shatter, so you'd probably want to land in try to land in one of these corners where there's not maybe too many monsters, or make a lot of noise like I did, lure most of the monsters over, and then get into one of these corners and then shatter your way in. But again, my character's pretty unkillable right now, so impressive number of of these gargoyles. Oh, there's the Serpent of Hell. This one is kind of nasty. Oh, he can dispel. Yeah, he flies though, right? Wow, he does not fly. Well, I think I know what that means then. First we're gonna haste. Then I'm gonna make a little bit more distance. He's got LCS and he's got like breath and stuff. Just go ahead and I don't need too much. This guy might get a chance to hellfire me, but again, I don't really care. He's going to be dead in a couple casts. He might do some damage with hellfire, but it's not going to be anything I'm too concerned about. Just want to get Serpent of Hell here shattered. Wow. Oh, that's okay. No, I misread that message. You hit me with LCS. There he goes. Anti-magic. Hey, cool. Amulet of Vitality. I'm not gonna wear that, but I'll pick it up. Gotta get the gold. Gotta have it. They don't want you to have nice things, but you need them. So this is not a bad spot to shatter. I'd probably go ahead and just kill Dissipator because why not? I don't think I can shut the door, can I? Get rid of this guy. Oh, that's not actually an animated statue, okay. So we are gonna buff up for this. Jill. Brill. Go ahead and haste. Don't know if I'll use might, but why not? Yeah, bro. And we'll cure that. Okay, we're pretty much ready. Skyfly. All right, there we go. So I might just LCS this guy. Even with Brill, we're not at max power, but that's alright. How much magic do I've got? Only got 2. Let some stuff collect and do some more shattering. Yeah. There's Dissipator. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, please vote for the next char after this, because after this we just gotta go pick up the orb and win. Alright, so it's just me and Dissipator now. That's the... In this vault, I think he always spawns with 1 Ice and 1 Brimstone Fiend, and I guess there were some Hell Sentinels that were kind of near the vault, his central location, but I killed at least one of them. He resists fire, I think. Yeah, so we'll definitely go for Shatter. And he does not fly, I believe. Yep. Okay. Give me some Hellfire. I don't really, now since this guy's shown up, I don't really want to drop Lich Form. So I have to just kind of wait some turns. It'll just kind of move back. And then drop Hellfire. See if we can't get rid of the Ice Fiend. Okay. So Maybe I'll just do a little bit of wanding, switch back to Earth, and do some more shattering. He's almost dead. Oh, now his Hellfire is doing a good job of piling on some damage now. Of course, he's almost dead. He doesn't have much left to last, but I don't think I have much Evo, so I could file him and block. Let's see what one heal does. Okay, so there he goes. Would have liked to not have gotten his low HP, but I wasn't really, you know, trying super hard. Making this much noise is kind of like you can't really control which directions monsters come from. So I'll just spam some heal. There's another Iron Giant, so yeah, I'm ending up fighting most of this stuff anyhow because of the fact that I'm shattering and making so much noise, so it's not like I really avoided anything with my teleports. That's pretty much that. That's a good teleport. Oh, nice. Got tormented. Two people voted for OP Summoner of New Sith. That's kind of surprising. I tried to put up a bunch of characters that are basically species backgrounds I haven't won in a while. Only 2 votes though. That's my problem. I've overestimated people's appetite for Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I'm gonna have to start really directly pandering to you people a lot harder. See if I can, like, throw in some Pokemon Go references or whatever it takes. Okay, so the only thing I have to do for the orb run really is go unlearn Seep Blink, and learn passage. Che. Che is not in the list of Gamafunk approved gods, so yeah. I've already won my 2 Che games. I'm not gonna have to win Che for like ever. The closest you're gonna get to Che is me playing a Naga, I think. Which I almost listed Naga on there because it has been a little while since I've won one, but there were a few other species that for which it's been kind of longer. Yep, that was only 4 months ago. Not even 4 months ago. Okay, yeah, so passage. I don't think there's really anything else. Disc 7. That's where I'll go to learn it. If I had known that, I would have actually done that. Well, I don't want to unlearn Sea Blink while I'm in Disc 7 though. Is there any other transloc? Disjunct, don't I have, oh, I've got 7. Disjunction is pretty handy actually. Is there anything I can unlearn? Damn. Yeah, Disjunction is a good little spell. Not that I super would need it. You know, this is sort of like crazy planning out. Is there a way I can fit? I mean, gotta be a way I can fit in that spell. Don't want to unlearn Firestorm. I could unlearn sort of Shatter, but that's just not right. Our Missile don't want to unlearn, really. I certainly could unlearn Our Missile, though it's not doing me a ton of good. I never did upgrade it. Or I could upgrade Our Missile to D-Missile if I wanted to. Although I may not even be able to... Yeah, no, I can cast it fine. That would be a pretty good use of those spell levels. But Disjunction is pretty strong. Regen. Regen is kind of too handy. Apport. I don't need to apport a lot in order to win. That is true. I can certainly apport the orb to the stairs, but again, that's not that useful. I'm probably not going to do that, so yeah, why not? We'll unlearn apport. All right. Here we go. Nice. Love the, ooh. Don't want him to dispel me. Love the spawns that appear. Oh, why did I go this way? I totally forgot. Oh well. Ooh. Did I ever? Oh, I never. Interesting. The little staff closet vault. Too bad I didn't have any interesting stuff in it, but I think I already had all the staves by that point. Wow, what a bad... Okay, there we go. Kind of a long ways, but that's all right. Wow, the stone giant. Good timing. I don't see walls. I'm living in a post-wall America. So yeah, if anybody else who's just tuning in, after this guy ascends, we're gonna start up a new character, so please vote. Don't be like an Arion and just cast a protest vote because your favorite awful god is not represented. Too dead. I am just too dead. Probably regen would be a better... I'm gonna go ahead and put on... Well, I guess I could lose a lot of piety that way. That's kind of crappy. Yeah, I should have thought about that and put it on well before. It's kind of a minor thing, but the regen would have been nice. Because I'm not going to be really using a lot of channel. I just don't want to get close to losing it. If my piety were 6 stars, I probably would though. So I usually, if I feel like I'm really far from the stairs, I'll read teleport on the orb run. You don't really have to, but you can see like it. If you get the feeling it's going to save you turns on average, it's not bad to do. No guarantee that you won't just teleport to a just as bad location, of course, but it's one of those things where on average it'll help you. Freed slave. Go into Lich, just to avoid any weird mutations. That's mostly just so my Morg actually represents the mutations that I've had, rather than like me getting some random ones that I don't care about. Alright. Well, that's it. GG, as they say. Don't really have anything cute to do. Oh, I didn't pick up the other Zigfig. I should have done that, but oh well. Take my pet kobold. Oh, yeah, sorry, I hadn't really considered that, but I guess yeah, it's kind of hard to list them out by full, but let's see. GR is Gargoyle. GH, well, I don't think there's I wish there were just a list. I don't think there's anywhere that just lists them for you. Yeah, I mean, they list them, but it doesn't list them in long form. So DD is Deep Dwarf, WN is Wanderer, GHAS is Ghoul Assassin, GRAK is Gargoyle Abyss Knight. Lobster Pants here coming through. If this is a link to Goatsy, then I'm going to promote you to a mod, because it'd be a good troll. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, Gargoyle Abyss Knight, that's the one that starts as Lucy. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, so I keep interrupting myself. Ogre, Gladiator, Octopode Summoner. You can kind of guess what they are, but yeah, especially if you don't really remember all the backgrounds, it's gonna be kind of hard, I guess. But yeah, see, that URL is pretty good. So we didn't end up being a farmer. Oh good, I beat Cobaldina. That's perfect. I beat her homo. Yeah, this was a pretty high turn count and a very long time. 21 hours is really a long time, even for 15 runes, but I wanted to play this one really slow, kind of casually, so people could, if you were new to Extended, you could just kind of see how to take it easy and win it without, if you rush through it and you're inexperienced at doing it, it's easy to get yourself killed. Yep, this definitely meet the definition of casual. But we did complete a Zig, which is pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of people there's a few people who've been looking at the Sif Muna changes who are longtime Sif users, well, who've played Sif before. And we're sort of kind of critical of it because they felt like it wasn't as powerful as old channeling. But there's a tendency to kind of overestimate the need that you need to use Sif Muna's old channeling in order to have a powerful character. I did Ziggurat with a lot of ease. The only time I was remotely challenged was on Zig 25. I got a tomb floor, and at no point was I in any actual danger. You know, I was definitely down at lower amounts of MP, but I sort of keep channel up, and you might have to, you know, spend every other turn casting spells, but that's still incredibly powerful. Taking Sif into Mega Zig, which is like when you get into like 7 completed Ziggurats, they start to fill up. That's going to be a little bit more dubious. Vehement is going to scale pretty well because you're going to be killing so many enemies that the MP Restorer will keep up with it. And for Sif, that's going to be a bit harder. you would have to use some. You'd probably want to have like a source of clarity and evocable channeling. And then use Sif when you get an MP drain, maybe. I mean, you can do both. You keep Sif channel up and also channel MP. You do have to spend turns to use the... There are always going to be better choices. Like, there's better choices than Vehement for doing Mega Zigs, but just for completing, like, you know, a few Zigs, Sif is definitely completely viable. And honestly, a lot better than old Sif was, because with old Sif, you had to spend all of those turns hitting channel energy. Even at 27 Invo, the average MP restores like something like 4.8. Yeah, I know. So, you know, you have to spend a lot of turns channeling back that MP. In practice, what I think people would do with Zigs, if they were going to do Sif, is they would do evocable channeling and then use Sif when you get a drain. And you can still do that, but you saw me using basically no evocable channeling. I didn't have a source of clarity, so I didn't really want to do it. And I was able to take the Zig down very easily, even the harder floors. I didn't do a Chaos floor, or at least I didn't do a late one. I did have I had a somewhat later Demon floor. It wasn't really much difficulty to that. It was not that late, but it was, I want to say it was like very late teens, maybe even early 20s. Fifth place, oh yeah, huh, how about that? Fifth place. Not a very high scoring run. You get a lot of points for runes. Runes are really dominant for score if you get a win. The score formula is a little bit weird if you die, and in that you can have somebody who has lower turns with fewer runes and they can outscore you if they have a loss. Like something I had for a very long time, which I was kind of proud of, is a speed run that I aborted. I think I still have number 2, second place. A speed run that was going to take the high elf high score, the species score at the time, at 49k, and I basically just missed it. Yeah, fifth place doesn't mean anything. It just means, like, basically what it means is you won a 15 rune game. That's what it means, because there's just not that many wins on the server right now. But yeah, that so I quit this guy on D1 because I didn't really want to win him unless he took the score, and I didn't really care about the win itself. But for a long time, that was the D1 high score. But then recently, this guy died with 15... What did he... He didn't even have 15 runes. He had like 8 runes. And I think, something like that. He had 8 runes, and his turn count was way higher than... So mine was a speed run, so I had 15 runes at 49k, which is not a trivial thing to do at all. Even though by modern standards, that's a very, very slow... Well, it's a slow speed run, but anything under 50k is really challenging. Even with melee, it can be pretty non-trivial, but for the strongest builds, sub 50k isn't too much. But for a mage, it's certainly... it can be pretty rough. Especially, I mean, it's just not easy to do. And when you get to like sub 30k, that's really like, you know, the highest challenges that are going on in current speedruns. But at the time, that was close. That was going to set the species score, but I just kind of missed it. And due to some bad experiences in Zod, I had a bad vault that I kind of stupidly cleared through because I kind of got stuck and I didn't want to take a hatch. And all the downstairs were in this vault, so I ended up having to clear this vault, and it probably cost me that score. But it ended up not mattering because the guy who holds the species score for high elf purple red, he held it at the time. He recently lost it to somebody else who marginally did better, but he went on to improve the high elf score by like another 7k. So even if I had gotten that one, it wouldn't have held up for long. Yeah, see, so I didn't actually get to that part. Thanks for reminding me, Free Kill. The reason is experience. If you don't win, the formula is set that experience is a lot more significant, the amount of XP gained, and so that guy gained a lot more XP because he wasn't a summoner, and he was killing everything. And so he was getting, and it was also in a more modern version before there was Well, no, that doesn't have anything to do with it. But he was not a summoner, so he wasn't losing any XP, and he killed more enemies. He wasn't doing a speed run, basically. He was doing a casual run. That's why he won in like 90k with, you know, not even 15 runes. So pretty typical. It wasn't doing any special challenge, and he just happened to die on D1 to an orb spawn. I think he had an altercation with a Panlord that went kind of bad, and then that followed up. So he unintentionally beat my D1 score, which is pretty funny. After that, I talked with Elliptic about maybe changing the way the score is calculated for games that you lose, so that it's not, that kind of thing won't happen. Because XP is not really a good basis for scoring. Not nearly as good as turn count and runes are. Okay, so that's enough jibber jabber, I guess. Let's take a final look at our straw poll.